So when you get an AI to see something, an image, a video, whatever, how do you actually get the bill for that? It's a really important question because there are two totally different ways companies charge for this stuff. And honestly, picking the wrong one, that could be the difference between a smart investment and a whopper of an unexpected bill. So let's get into it and break down the two big ideas behind AI vision pricing. And let's just start with why this is such a big deal. I mean, look at this quote from the Tokensense-ai blog. It's a real wake-up call, right? A single camera costing more than a person's salary. We are not talking about a few bucks here. The cost of just letting an AI watch a constant video feed can be absolutely massive. This isn't some what-if scenario. It's a real, serious financial risk you need to know about. So the big question is, how do you keep from getting hit with a bill like that? Because let's be real, jumping into AI vision without understanding how you're charged, well, it's basically like signing a blank check. Today, we're going to give you the tools you need to get a handle on these costs and make sure you never see one of those jaw-dropping surprise AI bills. All right, so here's what we've got on tap. We're going to start with the hidden costs of AI vision. Then we'll look at the two big ways you pay for it, what I'm calling the token economy and the a la carte menu. After that, we'll have a little showdown between the two. And finally, we'll wrap up with how to actually choose the right model for you. Sound good? Let's go. Okay, first things first, let's talk about those hidden costs. The real problem with AI vision is just the unbelievable amount of data. A video feed isn't just one thing. It's this never-ending stream of individual pictures, right? Frames. And every single one of those frames has to be analyzed, and every single one costs money. That's what we mean by the million token mountain. It's this huge pile of data that just grows and gets really expensive really fast. Yeah, let's put a real number on that mountain. Get this. According to Tokensense, a small business, we're talking just 10 cameras, could be looking at a bill of over $2,000 a month. And listen, that's just for the AI part. That doesn't even count the cameras themselves, the data storage, or anything else. It really shows you how fast these things can get out of hand if you're not paying attention. So how does a bill even get that high? Well, let's dive into the first way companies charge for this, what we're calling the token economy. We'll use GPT-4o as our example here. The basic idea is pretty simple. You're paying for the AI's effort. The more work it has to do to understand your image, the more you pay. It's kind of like paying a consultant by the hour. The more complex the problem, the bigger the bill. And in this economy, the currency is something called a token. A token is basically the smallest piece of information an AI can read. So just like a sentence is made up of words, an AI breaks down an image into thousands and thousands of these little tokens. The more stuff is in the image, the more tokens it takes to describe it. It's a direct measurement of how hard the AI has to think. And here's a concrete example for you. A single, pretty standard high-res picture, that can cost you around 1,600 tokens just to process it once. So every single time you upload an image, bam, 1,600 tokens are gone from your account. It's a very direct cost for every single thing you ask it to look at. Okay, so what does a token actually cost in real money? Here's the official pricing for GPT-4o. And you'll see something really important here. There are two different prices. Input tokens, that's what you pay to send the image to the AI. Output tokens, that's what you pay for the answer it gives you back. So if you just ask a simple yes/no question, your output cost is tiny. But if you ask for a full paragraph describing what's in the image, well, that answer is going to cost you way more because it's using more output tokens. All right, let's totally switch gears now and look at the other way of doing things. I call this one the a la carte menu, and we're going to use Google Cloud Vision as our case study. With this model, you're not paying for the AI's general effort. Nope. You're paying for one specific, clearly defined task. It's exactly like ordering off a menu. You pick what you want, and you pay for that one thing. Just take a look at Google's pricing here. The first thing that should jump out at you, no tokens. Instead, you pay per unit for a specific feature, like find the text in this image or find the logos. And this is a big one, check out that free tier. The first 1,000 times you use a feature each month, it's free. That is a massive deal if you're just starting out or have a smaller project. So, how it works is super simple. 1, you send up an image. 2, you pick a task, say text detection. 3, that counts as 1 unit. That's it. Now, what if you want to find logos in that same picture? Well, that's a second task, so that's a second billable unit. The great thing about this is that it's 100% predictable. You know exactly what your bill is going to be, which is amazing for budgeting. Okay, theory time is over. We've seen the two different ways of thinking about this. Now let's actually put them head to head. let's imagine a real-world job. You have to analyze 10,000 images, and for each one, you just need to do one simple thing: read the text. So how do the costs compare? This is where it gets good. Before I show you the final numbers, let's do a super quick review of the main differences. GPT-4o, that's the token model, charges you for the AI's effort, right? Input and output tokens. Google Cloud Vision, the task model, charges you for getting a specific job done, with discounts the more you do it. So really, it boils down to this: are you paying for the process, or are you paying for the result? All right, so for GPT-4o, here's how the math shakes out. We've got 10,000 images. Each one costs about 1,600 tokens just to send in. That's 16 million input tokens total. At their rate of $2.50 per million tokens, our bill comes out to $40. Simple as that. It's just a direct cost for how much data we threw at it. Okay, now let's look at Google Cloud Vision. Remember that free tier? The first 1,000 images don't cost a dime. So we only have to pay for 9,000 of them. Their price is $1.50 for every 1,000 images. So 9 times $1.50, that's just $13.50. I mean, for this specific job, a high-volume, super repetitive task, the task-based model wins on price, hands down. So what's the big takeaway here? It's definitely not that one is always cheaper than the other. It's that they are built for completely different kinds of work. And that brings us to the most important part. How do you choose? Because it really is all about picking the right tool for the right job. Okay, here's a simple guide for you. Go with the token model like GPT-4o when you need something more complex, when you need it to reason about an image. Asking things like, what's the general mood of this picture, and getting a whole paragraph back. On the other hand, you want to choose the task model like Google Cloud Vision when you're doing something simple over and over and over again at a huge scale, like find every single license plate in 10,000 traffic photos. When you need cost predictability for a repetitive job, that's your guy. It's really the difference between hiring a creative strategist versus setting up a super efficient assembly line. And this all leads to a really big, kind of philosophical question for the future, doesn't it? These two pricing models, they really represent two different futures for how we pay for AI. As this tech becomes just another utility like power or water, what are we actually paying for? Are we buying the AI's intelligence, its time and effort, or are we just buying the final answer it spits out? How we answer that is going to define the entire economy of AI for a long, long time. It's definitely something to think about.